Hello everyone, it's your girl Lucy Leaf again. I'm here today with another entry in the Music Process magazine. I'm going to show you how I approach doing a cover song, how I kind of make it my own and put my own spin on it. So if you're in the Discord, you know that we do cover challenges every week. This week's challenge is country music, any song. But I was personally challenged by boxcargonzo to do the song Seven Spanish Angels, which is by Ray Charles and Willie Nelson. I didn't even know this song before he showed it to me, but it's a really great song, like a super just classic, old-timey country song. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about what kind of makes the song special and what I want to do to make it my own. So I'm gonna play you the original. And it's a pretty basic chord progression, but I'll put the chords on the screen as well so that you can see them. He looked down into her brown eyes and said, "Say a prayer for me." She threw her arms around him, whispered, "God will keep us free." They could hear the riders coming. He said, "This is my last fight. If they take me back to Texas, they won't take me back alive." So that's the first verse. We're just going to do the first verse for this video so that it's not too long. So, great song. We're in F. We're very, very clearly in F. We've got F chords. We've got C. We got a, C7. Put that dominant 7 in there. F, B flat, F, C, F. And in the original, you will hear like Ray Charles kind of will throw in those little gospel frills. Quick little chord changes, but it doesn't change the fact that, it's an F chord. So what I like about this song, I like the very standard gospel progression. American country music kind of came together as a mishmash of like Black gospel music and Appalachian folk music. So this song has that gospel-y chord progression, and it has a very like lilting, folky type melody over top of it. And then the lyrics, of course, are very country. We've got some Western imagery, kind of cowboy culture stuff. It's depressing. Obviously, I just sang the first verse, but the general gist of the song is like star-crossed lovers. They're in a desperate situation. The only escape is death, and at the end they die. So I'm thinking of this, conceptualizing it in my head as like, this is a song about death, which is great for spooky season. I'm loving the kind of spooky vibes we have going in the Discord. I've been really into kind of spiky chords that don't always resolve nicely. So this is going to be a great song for that. So thinking about this sad song with the death of these people, it gets me thinking, first of all, about the Chopin's Funeral March. That kind of vibe. But then that got me thinking about another Chopin piece that I really love. It's a prelude for piano, and it has this kind of like accompaniment that is very moody, kind of slowly chugging along, slowly changing chords. I'm going to play you a little bit of it so you can kind of see what I mean. Okay, I just fucked up. Anyway, you get the picture. We've got a sustained melody over top, and then the chords just kind of slowly change. Instead of jumping from one chord to another, we just kind of change a few notes at a time. So I'm loving that. So I wanted to kind of put some of that sort of energy into this cover. Obviously, it's not going to be quite so easy because the Chopin piece just kind of stays on this same melody note. So all you have to do is change one note of the chord at a time. It's going to be a little harder with a melody that moves around. But it's going to be fine. We're gonna see how it goes. Okay, so I'm just gonna play through the verse melody and show you the chords that I chose to go along with it and kind of talk about why I chose them. So we start here on F, and in the original, maybe I should play it up here. In the original, we sit on an F chord there. But if you watch my last video, you will know that I hate just the feeling of sitting on a sustained chord, especially like the one chord where it's not pulling you anywhere. So I want to go somewhere. So my last video, I started with a dominant 7 chord, and I really just loved the sound of that. So I thought I would try this one. We can't use the dominant 7 in F because it's a C7, and that just clashes too ugly with these notes. But we can just use the F7, and I love it. So that's the first line. I started with the F7 and then pulled up to the G7. So that's a big change in notes. That's not really fitting the vibe, the Chopin vibe that I was going for. But I just liked that as an opening. So then after that, that's when I start trying to, instead of moving my hand to change chords, just crawling fingers around to change parts of the chord. So we did this. Then I hit this. This is an A major triad with a C sharp on the bottom. I don't know what this is in, like, I don't know what chord you would call this, because I don't even think that we're really in F in this, because I start on this F7 and that's not in the scale of F major. So backtrack a little bit. F major scale. Okay, we would have a B flat, but in this arrangement I've used a lot of E flats. So we have the E flat. We could be in the key of B flat, but because of the melody, you really get a sense that F is the root. So if we have B flat and E flat and our root is F, then we are, I believe, in mixolydian mode, which it doesn't matter. I mean, I don't like think before I make an arrangement, oh, I'm gonna use mixolydian mode, but I just follow my ear, and this is what it has led me to. I also sometimes in this piece am using this C sharp or like D flat, sometimes with an E flat, so that would be, who knows what mode that is. Sometimes when I'm using it as a C sharp in the context of this A major triad, we're in like, I mean, who even knows? Okay, I don't know what scale that is. It doesn't matter. The point is just, we don't have to be constrained. Like if we're in F, that doesn't mean you can't use chords from other keys, or you can't use notes outside of the scale. It doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. It's spooky season too, so I'm really not worried about like continuity between chords. I want things to sound kind of unsettling. I don't even know where I was at before I went on this tangent. I think I'm on the 3rd chord of the song. This is taking so long. So here we have this A major triad over C sharp. I'm gonna keep the C sharp and the E, change the A, split it to a G and a B flat. C sharp, diminished 7. I love a diminished 7 chord because they resolve so nicely, but I'm not resolving it today. I'm going to, instead of resolving, I'm gonna keep these 2 notes, B flat and G, and switch my C sharp and my E to an E flat. Hit this E flat major triad. Amazing. And then just for the sake of traveling a little bit, add this C in the root, so we got a C minor 7. So I kind of like that. We're slowly moving around between chords, not really jumping so much. All right, so the next line, we came from the C minor 7. I'm gonna just scoot this G down, so we've got like a C diminished, half diminished 7, or like an E flat minor chord over C. So this is the melody. that was a lot of chords. We start with this E flat minor over C-ish chord. Then we're going to move everything. This is where I just liked the sound of like some very angular momentum. This is a G7 with a D in the root. And we have thrown the B flats out the window for a second because I just think that that sounds more drastic than going. I like the sharpness of this. And then we scoot it right back down to the B flat. We're keeping this G, E flat, G, B flat, D flat, E flat, 7. Keep the E flat and B, scoot down to an E flat minor 6. Then we're going to keep the C, scoot the rest of these fingers down, D minor 7, and then walk down D minor 6, D minor diminished 6. Okay? Then we have in the melody. So this pretty much is not going to let us do much besides be an F chord, unless we wanted to make it like a D minor 7, but we just were on a D minor 6. So we'll go ahead, we'll make it F7 because I like that E flat. We are we've got this F7. This is like a C sharp augmented. So this is a C sharp major triad. We're augmenting the 5th. So that way we can keep the F and the A and just scoot up to the C sharp. Then we have an E flat diminished 7. So we're going to keep this A and add minor triads all around it. So that's a big shift there. That kind of breaks the rule when we jump from here to here. E flat diminished 7 to G minor. But that's okay. They're not really rules. It's just guidelines. Due to the nature of how I wanted to arrange this, I kept the chorus chords a little closer to the original. There's some variations, but they're not changing as much. So for this last line of the verse, I kind of tried to reel it in. I still used some of the weird chords I was using before, but the motion is a little more like your typical country song, like chords fully changing, not just little bits of chords changing at a time. So we have so that's starting on B flat, straight to C, no funny business there. Then we walk up from C to this C sharp augmented, G minor 7, that A over C sharp, B flat major 7. And I like ending on that. And you can tell, it doesn't feel like the one chord, you know? Even though we have been using these E flats for most of the piece, this doesn't feel like the one chord. You still know that your root is F. So that's why I feel like if I had to like declare what key this song is in, I think it would be in F mixolydian. Anyway, so let me play the whole thing through. I'll just play how the progression sounds by itself first, and then I will sing the melody over it so you can hear how it kind of complements the melody. He looked down into her brown eyes and said, "Say a prayer for me." She threw her arms around him, whispered, "God will keep us free." They could hear the riders coming. He said, "This is my last fight. If If they take me back to Texas, they won't take me back alive. I hope that you guys enjoyed this look at how I approach a cover, and I hope that you can take some inspiration for your own covers, even for your own originals. It's always great to, you know, have artists that you look up to, that you can draw from, that you can get new ideas from, learn from, develop your practice. And if anybody knows what some of these modes are, what was it? Oh my god, listen to how messed up my speaker is. If anybody knows what those modes were, let me know, because I would be interested. All right, until next time.